Hey everybody, welcome to Art Talk. Art Talk is a time when Julie Schumer and I discuss our business occurrences for the past month. We're sharing them here with you in hopes that you'll find something helpful. So this month, we wanted to dedicate this Art Talk to artist behavior. And I'll start. What I mean by artist behavior is when you go to a show, let's say it's an art fair or an art festival or somewhere where the artist is set up with their work by themselves and they're trying to make a living. They're trying to sell their work. It might be several days and it might be indoors, it might be outdoors, what have you. When you go, and a lot of artists come to these, it's great
Tons come to
yeah,
these.
it's great to come and be inspired. But I would ask that artists have a little respect for what the artist is trying to do. The exhibiting artist is trying to sell their art and make a living. It's not a time for you to come and take photos of their work and tell them you want to copy their work. I had this very thing happen this past weekend.
I'm
I
amazed. Yeah.
I had a lady come in and, she seemed quite nice. She started taking a couple photos of my work, and I have no photo signs posted in my booth. And I asked her, I prefer no photos if you don't mind. And she said, well, I wanted to take a photo of that one over there because I want to try to paint it. And I said, um, I really would rather you didn't take photos of my work, and I would rather you develop your own work. And then she started to try to take a photo of my artist statement. And I said, I really prefer no photos. I'm happy to give you a business card. Um, and she said, well, I wanted to look you up online. And I said, well, there's a business card on the table behind you. I handed it to her. I understand artists are learning and they get inspired, but I certainly don't want her to take a high res photo, with her iPhone and to try to copy my work verbatim. So she thanked me. She walked out of my booth. There are trash bins located around the show, and she walked, 15, 20 feet to the trash bin. She crumbled up my business card and slammed it into the trash bin.
Oh my.
So, you
What bad
know,
behavior. And the thing is, she could have just looked you up on your website and gotten all the information there.
right. But I just couldn't believe the attitude. And
Uh-huh.
there was another lady in the booth at the same time who was a serious buyer and who ended up buying a large painting later that day. So it was, I'm trying to make a living, and this lady, her only mission is to look for stuff
Mhm.
she wants to copy. So I would ask artists, really consider when you're going to a show, just introduce yourself, say you're an artist, I'm here to get inspiration, but don't
Right.
start like trying to take high res photos of the person's work and tell them you're going to copy it. Just ask for a card. And, if they're not busy, maybe you could chat them up. But if they're busy, it's just not a good time. So that's my
Yeah.
um, artist behavior story that I wish artists would think about when they're going to a show. And also, these artists are standing there for long hours. I mean, Julie, you've done these art fairs.
Oh, it's tremendously taxing. And I've had many artists come in my booth at various indoor art fairs, and they won't stop talking. And and I see people coming in and walking away, and I'm, trying to politely extricate myself from a conversation. It's just not the right time,
Yeah.
at those kind of
Yeah.
events. Artists don't realize it costs a lot of money and a lot of energy and effort to do these shows. And you're there on a mission, and it's great we love talking to our fellow artists and
Of course.
hearing their stories. But I think that the artists have to be a little more hip to what's happening in the booth, a little more
Right.
socially aware of what's going on in the booth.
Right. Socially aware would be good. And you could also say to an artist, hey, do you mind if I email you a couple questions?
Right.
At
I've
another
had that
time.
happen. I
Yeah.
have had that happen, and I'm happy to answer. in an
Absolutely.
email format or a phone call even later. That's fine too.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. But when you're busy at a show, it's just not the best time.
it's not the best time.
Yeah.
Well, my artist behavior story. Do I sound sick to you people out there? If I do, it's because I am. I have COVID. And I have COVID because last weekend, not this Memorial Day weekend, but the weekend prior, I had a workshop in my Santa Fe studio, and somebody came who, as it turned out, tested positive for COVID on the third day of the workshop. And it turns out she failed to disclose to me that her husband was actively sick when she left her home on the East Coast to come to Santa Fe. And so, I was kind of unknowing through all this, and I was flabbergasted that somebody would fail to disclose that information. I mean, we who give these workshops sort of depend on the scrupulous honesty of people coming,
Yeah.
to make it be safe for everybody. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm taking my life into my hands to conduct a painting workshop. It doesn't seem like the risk is worth the benefit.
Right. So her husband was sick with COVID when she left to come to your workshop.
Correct. And I only found out about this part of it was because another person in the workshop who had come with her
Mm.
told me that the husband
Mm.
was sick. Otherwise, I probably never would have known this. But, I know that we have waivers that people sign, Kat, when they come to a workshop
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
COVID. And I can't stress enough that if you are sick, if you think you're going to get sick, if you've been exposed within a certain time period, before coming to a workshop, don't come. I
Yeah.
know both you and I offer a full refund if a person can't come because of that issue.
Yeah, of
So it's,
course.
so it's not like you're going to lose the money.
Right.
So now I've spent 5 days in my bed, pretty much. This is the first time I'm up
Oh
since like
my God.
Thursday.
Oh my,
And it's a
that's
colossal waste
awful.
of time. Plus, it almost cost me my workshop people next weekend. So the
Right.
domino effect of this, that kind of behavior, is extreme.
Yeah.
I have a husband who's in his 70s who doesn't need to get this, really, who
Right.
has never had it, doesn't need to have it now.
Right.
We have a trip planned. So just be sensitive to other people with this. It just, you know, put aside your enthusiasm for wanting to come with common sense,
Right.
I would
Right.
say.
And these are, of course, Julie and I work with so many artists, and it's nothing personal, but these are real life issues. If you
Right.
if you come to a workshop really sick or carrying the COVID virus, I mean, if
Right.
if that was a bigger group of people, they could have all went down.
Right. That's the thing.
Everybody could be like in bed,
Yeah. This was a small group. It turned out to be a two-person workshop because another person had bailed because of a health problem. And it was too close in time to the workshop for me to get a third person. And I
Right.
was happy to have it was great to work with these two ladies who, I could give them a lot of attention. But it could have been 6 people, all of whom would be sick now,
Oh my
most
gosh.
likely. And I'm
Yeah.
fully vaccinated, you
Right.
know,
Of course.
boosted and all that. So it's not good. It's not kind behavior.
Right.